is the proposals that were presented by the Department of Health and Social Care as part of their first consultation exercise, which was published last August and closed in early October. Now, the proposals that the Department of Health and Social Care put in place at that time through consultation have been considered, or actually still being considered, by the DHSC, and we hope to receive their response to their proposals probably after Easter, by the end of April. There were 11,800 responses to that first consultation. So what am I hoping to see? Well, I think three very specific things. One, I want to receive a definitive outcome from that consultation that tells us all which procedures will be in the scope of the proposed non-surgical cosmetic practitioner licence for practitioners in England. That's the first thing. The second, which is really important, will be a red line being drawn regarding those procedures that we all consider, and I think all consider, to be very invasive and to present major risks to members of the public if not performed by appropriately qualified and registered and experienced practitioners. We mean those procedures that the DHSC has put in place at the moment in the red category. So they will be breast and buttock augmentation, liposuction, hair restoration surgery, anything that actually involves the insertion of a cannula. So there's a lot there, but I believe we will receive definitive outcomes from DHSC about those procedures, which would move, in my opinion, many of those procedures to the oversight of the Care Quality Commission, which will mean they will be given a very specific degree of attribution of risk assessment and governance. The third thing, what I'm also expecting to see, will be further confirmation of standards of supervision and oversight for those procedures that will end up in the amber category, such as botulinum toxin injections, the insertion of dermal fillers, etc., if they're performed by a licensed practitioner in the future, but if the practitioner is not a regulated or registered healthcare practitioner, we anticipate there will be a degree of oversight or supervision standard determined by DHSC. Within that, there is one very specific point, that if the practitioner is using a prescription-only medicine in any part of the treatment process, then we would expect a prescriber to oversee the actual procedure itself. So that's going to be what we expect to see. There will be a number of procedures that are currently in the amber and green categories, such as radiofrequency, etc., some of the peels, that need further evidence before we can agree whether they will be in the amber or the green category. So it is absolutely right to say we expect further evidence to be called for some of those procedures. So we'll get most of them defined, but some ongoing work around lasers and light, peels, radiofrequency, etc., to determine their categorisation in the future. But it'll be the spurring point or the real point that takes us to the next stage of what we expect to see from the government.